Hey guys, I'm going to do a weekly review like I've been doing the past couple weekends. Hope you guys had a great week. As far as my account is concerned, I had a little bit of a rough week because it was just all this pre-election fear and no stimulus and, they can't come to an agreement and a lot of fear selling or just, selling off in general. Now, that doesn't have me too worried because I imagine in the spring we're going to have a phenomenal stock market, okay? So you just got to ride these bumps until we can get through this and see what president we get. Um, I'm starting off by saying again that Magnite has done fantastic. Now, not a lot of stocks have had a good week. Most of mine are actually down. But for the week, Magnite gained 10.86%. Definitely put Magnite on your radar, okay? I gave them a shout out a couple weeks ago. If you guys jumped in, then you would have had a nice little bit of money from the Magnite call out. Next thing I want to talk about is Apple. Now, I was discussing this with a friend. Uh, she told me you don't sell your Apple. Once you get Apple, you don't sell Apple, and I understand where she's coming from. However, for over a month now, ever since they did the stock split, I bought some Apple shares. I think I had about 12 or so. Not a lot. Now, this is a small account, guys, so everything I do is kind of on a smaller or beginning scale, so some of you newer investors can just kind of feel like this is more attainable. This is just the price range that I'm at the moment, and I finally sold it on Wednesday, and I'll show you what happened. On Wednesday, I sold 5 of the shares. Well, on October 9th, I sold 5 at 5. I think I got 581.40, but I sold them at 116.28. And then again, I sold more. I sold 5 at 117.49. I just had a feeling. Now, if you're a new investor, don't go by your gut feeling. You have to go by more than that. You have to go by some technical analysis, look at the balance sheet of the company, listen to what other experienced investors have to say. But for me personally, having spent the good part of this past year spending a ton of time studying the stock market and how the stock market flows, I had a feeling that Apple was going to take a dip, and I was right. We're back down to 115.08. So I didn't make a ton of money by selling off my Apple shares, but I had a feeling it was going to dip, and it did. I'm definitely going to buy back in at some point. But what I want to put out there is what I'm going to be using my Robinhood account for is more risky stock choices. Now, this is the reasoning behind that. For over 20 years now, I've had a mutual fund. Now, I use a company called Invesco, and they have more than several, they have like a million different mutual funds to choose from. I have 3 different ones, and I believe every single one of those has Apple in it. So I have my bases covered as far as these big companies are concerned and the blue chip stocks and all of these old, solid companies that are established. I have invested in those through these mutual funds that I've had over the past 20 years, okay? So I have Apple. It's not in my Robinhood. It's not in my Webull at the moment. But it is a part of the mutual fund. Now, if you'd like to open one of those, I would encourage you to check out one of the bigger companies that do this, such as Vanguard, such as Invesco, and there are many, many others. And if you're getting a lot of stress from all the buying and selling and watching the stocks, and you want to get these nicer returns, but you don't want to be constantly having to watch it, get these mutual funds established and then put a small amount or whatever's comfortable for you into them every month. And then with another portion of your disposable income or the income that you've been putting into these apps like such as Robinhood, you can use that to explore some of the more volatile or risky stocks. That's just an idea that I came up with this week, and I think that's how I'm going to move forward. I'm not going to buy Apple and Johnson and Johnson and Microsoft and all these stuff on my Robinhood. I'm going to keep Robinhood for the more risky stocks, and I think that'll keep it more interesting for you guys as well, because you know, there's only so much excitement you can get out of watching an Apple stock or a GM stock or whatever. I'd like to talk about these companies that are up and coming that can actually maybe one day 10x your money, right? So this week was supposed to be the window for Virgin Galactic's starting its test flight. The window opened October 22nd and had a lot of people, including myself, thinking that the test flight was going to happen on October 22nd. Well, it didn't. And only thing we know is that as per their Twitter tweet here, it says the next time we ignite a rocket motor, it will power our spaceship to the space in the skies above New Mexico later this fall. No date. It can happen any day now, later this fall. Well, I kind of feel like the end of October is kind of late in the fall, or maybe it's just me and I'm crazy, but I'm sure that had a lot to do with some of the sell-off that happened this week with Virgin Galactic. And for the week, they're down, ouch, 16.52%. It's like a right down, okay? Do I think this is a good buy? Yes, I do. Do I think it's worth the risk? Absolutely. I'm very bullish long term on Virgin Galactic. I think it's worth the risk. It's worth your money. You don't want to be looking back 5 years from now saying, oh man, I remember when Virgin Galactic was $20 a share. And of course, some of you guys got in at $15 or maybe even less than that. But the longer they prolong this test flight, the less confidence investors are going to have. And going into elections, that's just adding even more fear. So I really don't think this is, I wouldn't load up on it quite yet. You may not be finished going down. It may go down even lower than this. But I'm really looking forward to the test flight, and I hope they go ahead and do it sometime soon to gain that consumer confidence back. And then we can move on to the next step, getting Richard Branson into space. And then after that, I think it's just going to go nuts after that, okay? All right, so what I'm going to be looking at this week, this is kind of my call out. Now, you don't want to do just what I say just because I called it out. But over the past week, look what Pinterest did, 21.36%. Now, I'm in a stock market academy and private Discord. I spend an hour every morning talking with other students, and I don't believe too many of us have been talking about Pinterest. So guys, definitely don't fall asleep on Pinterest. Look at the success of Snapchat and how it just skyrocketed, okay? I think Pinterest with the earnings coming up, I mean, earnings plays are always risky, but I think this is definitely an earnings play worth a shot. Now it's around $50 a share. Earnings come out October 28th, which I believe is Wednesday. Okay, so definitely put Pinterest on your radar. I hope you guys have an amazing week. Be safe. Go out and vote if you are able to. That's what my sticker says. You probably can't see it because of the reflection. And I hope you guys have an amazing week. Check out the links in the banner and below for the Academy. And if you'd like a mentor, I would highly recommend checking that out. Guys, peace. Have a great week. I'll talk to you soon.